So guys, I thought I'd just show you a little change I've made. On the back, I've put some larger pebbles in to try and retain a lot of the pea gravel. But the result of that is it's changed the water flow completely. So a lot of the water is actually flowing over the top instead of underneath, and that's why I was having a lot of problems. So while it's not perfect, it is sort of changing things a little bit. So I'm just showing you the Blagdon Half Moon Pond. So I thought I'd just show you my 3 remaining goldfish eating some goldfish flakes that I've got. So that's pond 1. Right, I thought I'd just show you pond 2 in terms of how it's developing. So that's the aquascape spillway that we've got there. With a cascade that I've built out of sandstone, and obviously another flagstone there for additional waterfall. And then this is more or less how it's developing as a wildlife pond, and it is a wildlife pond in the truest sense. I've got 3 goldfish in there that are still alive. I've only seen 3, I did have 4, so I don't know what's happened to the other one. So this is my 3rd pond that I've spent a lot of time building, because obviously we have a bog area just there. If you've not seen this before, please check out my previous videos on how I've modified this pond, because I have rebuilt the waterfall, which took a lot of work. But as you can see, in the summer it's maturing quite nicely. I've just been doing a bit of tidying up, getting rid of weeds, and then over there I've got like a patio area that I've built, and obviously you can see the plants that have come to life over the course of the year. So I just wanted to give you a bit of a show and tell on my 3 ponds. Some people might be asking, oh, why have you got 3 ponds? Well, the Blagdon pond was my first one, and then after watching a ton of aquascape ponds builds, I've decided to create my own. And then, as you probably know, obviously you can see my goldfish there hiding. As you probably know, guys, when you see koi fish and you go to obviously pond suppliers and garden centres, you decide, I really want to get some koi fish. To do that, you've got to build a bigger pond, unfortunately, which is a significant investment. So this is pond 3. Do you think I might go bigger? I don't know. What I might consider one day doing is consolidating all my ponds into one big one. I noticed there's a few people who've got very large ponds, such as Martin's Pond and Garden YouTube channel. What I would say, Martin, is think about the cost of running multiple ponds, because it does mean it's going to cost you more money having different ponds. So I would highly recommend, if you're going to have a pond, just have the biggest one you can build and stick with that. Because obviously more ponds means more pumps and more expense. So I'm just giving you a bit of a show and tell of my pond. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you would like me to do a pond build video on how I started this from beginning to end. So I thought I'd just show you around the pond. So we'll go around the back so you can see the electrics side of it. Obviously here I've got 2 pumps, one for the skimmer, one for the filter that we built here. You don't have to buy vortex vortex filters. You can build your own. All you need is a liner and some wood, essentially, and build your own out of wood, obviously. So let's open this up. Let's open the electric side of it. So essentially we've got an electric box there, Evo UV Evolution Aqua 25 watt professional UV clarifier. We've got a Pond 1 O2 plus 4000 air pump, and obviously that's our piping. So basically what's going off here is we've got our pump there that winds its way through with PVC flexible pipe. They call it flexible pipe, but I wouldn't call it very flexible. It's very stiff and rigid, it's very strong, and it takes a lot of effort to manipulate it, so I've had to use these clips to keep it in place. So yeah, that basically runs through to the UV clarifier, in here, out again, up through this no return valve here that runs into the filter box, and then as I've already shown you, here we've got those donut shaped sponges. The water comes through there, out through the sponges that we've got here. We've got 4 brushes, soft sponges behind, and then some Japanese matting on the back. It goes through a load of stone and lava rock, filters up through and out as a waterfall. So that's essentially my 3 ponds. I just wanted to talk you through it. So that's essentially my big pond. Additional things that I've added to it, obviously I've got one of those solar duck water features. I've just kept the top bit and put that there. Here we've got a stainless steel candle lantern, so that would be nice when it gets dark and you want a bit of ambient light. I've got some all-in-one pond solution lights here, there, and there, and then obviously a custom sail built so it fits here, and I built a table here as well as the cupboard I've built around the back to contain the electrics. Here's a seat. I just bought that, I just stained it, I didn't make it, by the way. Obviously a water butt here. So around here I've just done the guttering system that comes off the roof, obviously, and along the garage roof as well. So that goes down into a drain, mini small drain I've built there. This goes along here underneath these flagstones, runs along here into a little containing area here. Just be mindful that you can't plumb things directly into a manhole like I've got here, because that would be illegal. So what I've done is I've just built like a sump pump area where you can put a pump in there and drain it all out. So that's essentially what I've done. I just need to get a bit more of this slate, this purple slate. And then the last thing that I'll talk about is the roof. Polycarbonate roof, a complete sheet I bought off eBay. Cost me about 120 quid. It's about 7 feet, I think it's 7 feet long, and about 2.5 meters wide, something like that. It's about 3 meters in length, I mean. Anyway, so essentially that's the pond. or the ponds that I've built. So my first pond actually was one of those plastic bondy ones that I actually had there, and you might want to check out some of my videos and you can see that for yourself. And it was a nice little water feature, but it wasn't anything on this sort of scale. So I just wanted to give you a bit of a brief talk about what I've done, you know, with my ponds. Could I guess a cost? No, not really. I probably estimate around between the £3,000 and £4,000 mark, because obviously this pond, you know, takes a lot of effort. You've got the liner, you've got the pump, all this stone from the quarry, and various other bits of stone I managed to pick up off Facebook Marketplace. And I just wanted to say, if you are looking for free stone, go on Facebook Marketplace. There's lots of people giving it away for free. But if you need a lot, the best cheap place is the quarry. Just rent a van and get as much as you need. And then obviously this pond here, probably a couple of £1,000 at least to build. I'll have to go through everything to do like a price up on how much it costs to build, but I'd say it's about £2,000 there. You're talking about £500 in wood, in terms of the sleepers, then the roof and all that is probably another 500 quid on top of that. Then you've got the filter box, which probably costs another 100 quid. All these plants, about 100 quid again. These capping pieces of wood, not cheap either. There's about, I don't know, £200 to £300 in wood there. And then all your pumps and your piping and accessories. To be honest with you, it's probably closer to £3,000 if I'm honest with you. So I thought I'd just give you a rough idea on what sort of costs. The Blagden Half Moon Pond that I've just shown you, I think that was about £350 off Amazon. It took me about a day to put that up. Here we've got a helicopter flying. So this Blagden Pond Half Moon that I've got here cost me about 350 quid off Amazon. They said it takes 2 days to build, but in reality it took me about a day. Check out my build videos on this if you're interested. They do 3 versions of this actually. One's like a mini version of this, then this, and then they do a grand version of this, which is a bit bigger. But yeah, I think most people start off with something like this and then decide they want a pond in the ground. So obviously my next step was to build this. I've rebuilt the waterfall twice now because I wasn't happy with it before. It just was leaking all over the place, and I wanted to put a proper aquascape filter spillway there instead of one of those cheap Simply Fish things that cost 25 quid. I wanted something more substantial. So obviously that's the wildlife pond I built. And then, as you do when you go to most garden centres, you want to get some koi fish because you see them in the big raised ponds and you think, right, I would like something similar. So essentially that's why this has been built, you know. And you're always tinkering, always modifying these ponds. But as you can see, it's quite a nice, reasonable pond. Everyone that sees it comments on it and says it's really nice. So, you know, it doesn't matter what size of pond you want. There's a size for everyone, whether it be small, medium or large. The only thing I will say, and this is what aquascape pond builders do tend to say, is you always want to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Most people build 3 ponds in their life. They start with a small one, then a slightly bigger one, and then they go for the biggest one they can afford to build. Personally, think about it long and hard. Do you want to build other ponds throughout your life, or do you want to build something that is going to be suited for what you want to do in the future? Always build something that you think you'll be happy with in the end, even if it's going to cost you a lot more money to build it, and maybe you can't afford it to start off with. In that case, yeah, build something small, something that's manageable, something you'll be happy with for a while until you can afford something a lot bigger. Because there's nothing wrong with this pond at all. You know, obviously it's not big enough for koi fish, but it's more than adequate for goldfish, you know. And then when you decide your fish have outgrown your pond, then you can think about building it bigger. Next question needs to be, do you want to build a raised pond, which has some advantages to one in the ground? Obviously you can raise it up if you don't want to do a lot of digging. However, in the winter you'll find that a pond in the ground will actually be significantly better insulated than out of the ground pond, especially when you get ice and snow and it gets cold. I've noticed that soil does hold the heat quite a lot, because most people would assume that this pond would freeze over solid in -10, -20 degrees, and that's not the case. I only got about an inch worth of ice on this pond, and because of the constant moving flow, it stopped this pond from freezing solid. So just think about that, guys. Have a regular constant moving flow of water and your pond will not freeze over solid. It's only when you don't have moving water can your pond potentially freeze solid. So I hope this video was a bit helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.